Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm John.
And together we're going to be showing you some key features of the Frazer dealer management software. Today we'll be going over some buy here, pay here and sales related features in Frazer. So without further ado, take it away, John.
Buy here, pay here deals come with a lot of extra excitement. And Frazer's headache relief starts as you structure the deal and continues to when you're working with the customer and customer activity. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll go ahead and drop into a sale. Over here, we'll go ahead and select buy here, pay here. And you'll see the middle column open up. So that way you can decide how often that customer is going to be paying and structure their payments, either by how long that loan is going to go for, or start to zero in on the amount that's going to work for them that they're paying. I'll go ahead and pick my vehicle up top. And here we go. And as you can see, Frazer's prompting me if I want to go ahead and enter the selling price that I'd set on the vehicle's sales tab. So I'll do that. And if I had a down payment amount, it would also put that in automatically. And here's just that reminder, since I'd selected that vehicle being rebuilt, it's letting me know I'll need to disclose to the customer. But now, over here is where the good stuff starts. So, as you can see, your government fees, whatever you have set, as well as your documentary fee, those are showing up automatically. And Frazer's going to have the correct sales tax calculations for wherever you're doing business. As you can see, we're in the state of Texas right now, so we have deferred sales tax and inventory tax showing up. But moving on, we have 3 ways to take a payment from the customer: deposit, down payment, and pickup note. If the customer isn't doing the deal right now, deposit's the way to go. Pretty much, you can set an expiration date for that deposit. So if they're just giving you money to hang on to the vehicle for a week or two, when that date rolls around, Frazer will ask you if you want to refund it, keep it, do nothing, and they'll get as many receipts as you'd like to give them without needing to complete the sale. The vehicle's going to stay in inventory too, in case somebody else comes along and they're ready to move on it. Down payment comes in handy just if they're doing the deal right now. So it's quick, simple. You put in what they're paying, and when you go ahead and complete the sale, they'll get a receipt for that payment right away. Pickup note is where things get interesting, and it's where Frazer's headache relief starts to show up. So we have quite a few dealers that are using pickup notes on buy here, pay here, and even on outside finance deals. Basically, they come in handy if the customer doesn't have enough down payment for you to feel comfortable moving forward with the deal. So it's sort of like an IOU for the rest of that down payment, also called a deferred down payment. The problem that a lot of our dealers started running into is that where you could go ahead and repossess for a situation where a contract payment hasn't been made, dealers started learning that they don't have the same authority to do so for an unpaid pickup note. And that's where we built a window into our down payment and deposit tool. To jump into that down payment deposit tool, I'm going to go ahead, put a number in here. I'll put a number in down payment. I'll hit this more detail button to save that. And as you can see, you can easily choose how that customer is paying. As well as if it's a deposit, you can set an expiration date on there. So we'll go ahead and set up a deposit just to show you the workflow that we're talking about. So putting an expiration date on there, we'll save it. And as you can see, Frazer would like to go ahead and print up a receipt if you wanted to. You can give them as many as you want without needing to complete the sale. And here we have this large window. You can keep coming back to this large window and just taking payments. So that way you can do a layaway style with that customer. Pretty much, they'll get a receipt from each deposit that they've given you. You can also give them something so that way they could track their progress, just to see how far they've come. until they'll be able to move forward with that deal with you. So it's just a lower risk alternative to a pickup note. Of course, you could still do a traditional pickup note in Frazer, but just an option that's available for you if you choose to use it. From there, we'll move forward and go ahead and calculate some payments. I'll go ahead and put 2 years worth of payments in there, calculate financing, and again, that same adjust pricing tool that you could use on a cash deal to get to a specific out-the-door price, you can use that on a finance deal or on a buy here, pay here deal to go ahead and jump to whatever place that customer is hoping to land in. So we'll go ahead and do $600 a month, for example, and let Frazer know what you're willing to be flexible on to get there. And Frazer already knows what that tax is going to change to, all of that. So no fuss, no fuss. You just happen to end up just where that customer hopes to be. And you do have the show profit button over here, just to show you at what point it's going to start making sense for you. So there's that. But real headache relief comes into play on the insurance side of things. Over on the customer tab, you could go ahead and record that insurance information. And then one thing that a lot of buy here, pay here dealers say is some insurance companies are faster than others. So you'll get reports from, certain companies that someone has let their insurance expire or is canceled. And you're always trying to make sense of these letters that are coming in at different times. So there is a report in Frazer, again, one of the lesser known things that really helps out, that's going to bring that information front and center. You can sort it by expiration or cancel date, and it's just going to take you through the insurance information for those customers. That way you can see, hey, if someone's expiration date is higher up on the list and you haven't gotten a letter for them, but you've gotten a letter for people further down on the list, you just know who to reach out to as far as companies to make sure that that vehicle is still being insured. So there's that. Speaking of insurance, there's a couple of different schools of thought when it comes to buy here, pay here, and Frazer has you covered, no matter what direction you choose. A lot of dealers are focused on keeping that payment amount as affordable as possible to help keep that customer consistent. Others are mindful of the fact that if there is a mechanical issue, that's when the customer is likely to stop paying. So they're adding on products like a service contract or gap insurance in case of a severe accident. Frazer has you covered with the back end through our service contract section. Depending on what state you're doing business in, there'll be some direct-to-provider links, but F&I Express is far and away the most popular option for our dealers. It's a marketplace with over 160 companies that sell back-end products, big and small. So Cars Protection Plus is there, Endurance, ASC, you name it. You'll see products from every company that you're signed up to sell for right there. So that way you can cross-shop to see what best matches the deal, as well as add your markup on the spot. And you'll be able to print your contracts directly from this window, while Frazer's going to hold all of the numbers that need to be applied for your state paperwork. Best thing is, it won't cost you a dime. It's free to sign up with, free to use. Still, other dealers are exploring CPI as a way to keep that vehicle covered for customers. In Frazer, you can go ahead and add CPI as a recurring fee. That will be paid as the customer makes their scheduled payments on the note. Advantages of CPI: the customer at that point only needs to carry liability insurance on the vehicle. You're providing them with the insurance that they're making payments for that covers your asset. Of course, GPS and starter interrupt devices are a mainstay at buy here, pay here dealerships for the peace of mind they provide. In Frazer, you can go ahead and assign that GPS starter interrupt device to the vehicle at sale time, if you choose, or as you're stocking the vehicle into your inventory. We work with 10 major providers, and if you are using GPS, you'll be able to locate that vehicle on the customer activity screen with one button click. If you're using starter interrupt, Frazer's going to automatically generate a code for them on the receipt as they make their payments, so they can input that code and keep driving. If you do want to learn more about any of the providers that we do work with, each one listed in Frazer does have a Learn More button that'll take you over to their website, so you can see if they'd be a good fit.
Thanks for that, John. Once you have all your numbers figured out, you can go ahead and complete that sale. Once we're done that, we're going to jump over to the customer activity screen. This is where you're going to see any of your completed sales. By default, this will only show anyone with an active balance. However, if you like, you can set this to all customers at the top of the screen, and it will list any completed cash, paid outside finance deals, or paid out buy here, pay here sales as well. I'm going to look at that sale we just completed, so to do that I'll sort these by sale date. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom where the most recent sales are. To view their information, simply double-click on their name and you'll open up their account. This screen is broken up into a few different parts. First off, we have the top, which lists things like sale date, customer contact information, their name, and the stock number and vehicle information of the vehicle you sold them. Below that, you have a lot of information regarding their current balances, including their due date, amount due today, and on the right it has a breakdown that will show you how much is owed in things like their principal balance and how much is owed in interest. This section is also where you would see buttons to print things like forms, letters, and envelopes for the customer. The last part is the bottom half of your screen, which contains all the various buttons. A lot of the buttons on this screen are self-explanatory, but I'll be going over a couple of the functions of the more important ones. For example, if you ever wanted to enter a payment on your sale, simply click on A, enter payments and other transactions. You'll be met with a screen that lets you enter in any payment information when your customer gives you a payment. Once you're done, hit Add Transaction, and it will apply it to their account. To see any payments, even deposits and down payments, you can click on F, Show Complete Transaction History. This will show you all payments sorted by the date received, and will show you how much each payment reduced your customer's balances by. By clicking Pause Payments, you can of course pause your customer's payments if they got injured on the job or something and needed to freeze interest for a period of time. Or you can go ahead and do a full-blown refinance where you can restructure the deal to suit the customer's needs. Besides that, we also have recurring payments as an option. That's all provided through Frazer Pay. John will be going over that in just a moment. Button K is where you'd go if you want to run a sales recap. This will take all your costs and sale information into account and give you a quick report that would show how much you're set to make on a buy here, pay here sale when you have received payments from your customers. So whenever you were to get all the payments the customers are set to give you, this total projected profit number would be how much you're going to make over the course of the deal. And lastly, if you click on B, Customer Processing, you'll be met with another menu. This is where you'd go to edit deal information. A lot of the things you see here are familiar things that you would have seen when you're entering the sale. So things like your trade-ins, credit application information, co-buyer, and insurance. It would let you edit anything you'd entered at the time of sale right here. There are also other things like the button to process repossessions and the button to process write-offs if you're unable to collect from your customer and you want to add that vehicle back into your inventory without the active balance remaining in your system.
So, circling back to that add recurring payment option, or even over here, the option to store a credit card or ACH information for a customer. All of that is powered by Frazer Pay, which gives you the option to have a customer's account billed automatically on their due date, but much, much more. We're really proud of this new product that we launched just a few years back because it's a full electronic payment solution, offering you the opportunity to add convenience fees to credit card payments. Of course, use a card reading machine, set up automatic payments for customers. Also, give them a website that they can go to make their payments if they don't feel like coming into the dealership. Everything is going to be brought into your Frazer program automatically as those payments are made. That individual's account is updated. Frazer Pay is a great option that we're really proud to have rolled out, and it's available at a price that's competitive with the best rates that you'll get from your local bank. Of course, forms are a critical part of Buy Here, Pay Here in Frazer, and your Frazer is going to come with everything that you need to be compliant in the state that you're doing business, and in most states, it's also going to include a custom retail installment contract that's compliant for where you're doing business. Of course, it has the Regulation Z-Box mandated by federal law, and it does spell out what a customer needs to do to stay compliant with that loan. If they do end up in default, provisions are in there for everything that you can do, including repossession. Beyond that, we do have optional forms like an arbitration agreement, so that way the customer agrees not to take you to court if there's a dispute that can't be resolved. GPS to start or interrupt disclosures even. And of course, really particular forms that some dealers doing Buy Here, Pay Here use and some don't, like the ride-sharing prohibition, all available free of charge in your Frazer program, and all in our form collection that spans over 80,000 forms. Almost every state as well has DMV online options if you do choose to do online registration, temp tags, or even if you're doing electronic lien entitling, like a couple of our dealers that are doing out-of-state Buy Here, Pay Here are.
Another important tool to look at is the Collections tool built into Frazer. That can be accessed underneath the Customer tab and by selecting option C, Collections tool. This handy tool is used most by dealers looking to contact their past due customers to attempt to collect a payment from them. It also gives you a quick look at all your balances and due dates in a handy sortable screen. This window has tabs for stock number, customer name, vehicle you sold to them, their current due date, how many days past due they are, and how many days since their last payment. Any of those columns can be sorted just by clicking on the column header. So if you wanted to sort by your due date, you would just click on that, and it's going to sort these oldest to newest. So you can click on them again to reverse that order, showing the most recent customer on the top. And then same thing with any of these other tabs. So if you were to click on current due, it's going to show the customer with the least due on the top. Clicking it again will reverse that, show the customer with the most due on the top. A couple handy features on this window let you easily access their customer activity by highlighting the customer you wanted to view and clicking on the customer activity button on the bottom right. If you use this window to call your customers, there's also a handy button towards the bottom right to bring up the notes screen for the highlighted customer. This will let you leave notes on the customer's account. They're all internal notes, so only people who have access to Frazer would be able to see these. You could drop notes in here with any contact attempts made to the customer, and any note added on this window will be logged with the ID of the person who added the note, as well as the date and time that note happened. Frazer has many built-in reports tied closely into Buy Here, Pay Here sales and collections. John already showed us the insurance report, so first off, if we go to Reports at the top of Frazer, then go to Customer Reporting, we can select 6 projected collections. This report is going to show you how much you're set to collect out of all your customers that have payments due, and it will break them down between weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly customers accordingly. Next up, we can go back to reports, then go to 3, customer reporting, and this time we can go to 1, past due or current due customers. This is a report that we can customize to show any customers that have a payment marked as past due. On the top left, you can choose how much detail you want every listing on this report to have, as well as how you want them to be sorted when the report prints. This can be used to tell this report which customers are needed to be printing on this report. This is based on the customer's due date. For ease of use, there are 2 buttons at the very bottom that let you set the report for either past due customers, which will print any customers that have an overdue payment, or current due customers. This will print the report for any customers who have a payment due in the upcoming week. If we set it for past due and then hit go, it'll generate this report that lists all your customers that have a past due payment, and it'll show details on how much they have set to become current and anything owed here. So you'll get a listing for every single customer that's appropriate based on the date ranges you selected. One more useful report to look at is the transaction listing report. To get here, you can go to Reports, then 3, Customer Reporting, and this time we can go down to option 5, Transaction Listings. This report is heavily customizable and is mainly used to run a report that shows any payments that were entered and collected in Frazer based on a date. So if we select option 1 for payments received, it's going to change this screen depending on what you select on there. The middle of the screen, you can basically enter in the date that you wanted this information to print for. So if you were looking for a report that shows just your payments collected today, you can keep the date set to today's date, or you can backdate this as you like. Before we hit go on that, the bottom part of this screen has a bunch of boxes where you can choose what types of payments you want included on here. So if you didn't want it to include down payments, you can uncheck this include down payments box. And the rest of these you can kind of go through and adjust as necessary. From there, if you hit go, you'll be met with this report that shows you each payment received and how they were collected, basically. This will break down each payment based on your receipt number, the date that payment was collected, the stock number, and the customer name. It'll also show the amount each payment was for, and whether that went to like their contract payment, interest or fees, or some other additional charge on the account. It'll give you like a quick look at who entered the payment and how that payment was taken, whether it was cash, check, credit card, however you received that. On the very bottom of this report, so if we scroll all the way down to the bottom of the last page, you're going to see a section that has all of the totals. They'll be broken up between the payment types. So you'll see a section that'll total up your cash payments, anything for check and money orders, anything for ACH, and then one finally for any debit and credit card transactions. And then it'll total all of them up for you below that.
There's a lot of additional things you could do with Frazer for Buy Here, Pay Here beyond what we've gone over in this demo, just to give you a quick sense of the extra things you could do. For example, if you do have a customer that needs a repair done, and perhaps you have a shop, perhaps you contract with a local shop in the area, you can go ahead and add in a repair balance for them. That way, the customer isn't faced with the difficult burden of paying the payment in once, and you could structure those payments for them. Just to show you how it works, I'm going back to the vehicle, and I'm adding in that repair right there. At this point, I've created a repairs balance. I'm now able to go ahead and collect payments from that customer and then distribute them so that way I can control how quickly that repair is going to be paid off from each payment. The customer is going to be receiving receipts that break down their progress on the repair balance versus their progress on the vehicle balance. It's just a great alternative for a lot of the dealerships that we work with where shop software isn't an option just yet. Another great lesser known feature for our buy here, pay here dealers in Frazer is the ability to report credit. If you are working with or looking to work with any of the major bureaus, including Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, even Innovis, you can go ahead and generate that Metro 2 file that they're looking for and go ahead and upload it into their portal. If you're looking to set up a relationship with them, our support team can guide you on the steps. Lastly, in addition to reports that we didn't cover, for instance, a report that shows you the effectiveness of various down payments based on the success rate of various sales to give you a sense of whether or not a larger down payment would help or smaller. We do work with a lot of third-party companies to accomplish different things in Frazer, everything from text messaging through TextMax Pro to, of course, working with providers to bring in leads into your Frazer program from a variety of sources. And, of course, the option to go ahead and run credits scores on customers. So you could pull their credit either with a quick screen, a pre-qualified that's not going to ding their credit, or a formal credit report.
Thanks for joining us on that walkthrough of the Buy Here, Pay Here and sales-related features in Frazer. If you would like any other information, please feel free to check out our Frazer Help YouTube page. Have a great day.